Tottenham have officially stepped into a brand new era, an era without Son Heung-min, the eternal icon who defined nearly a decade at the club. But instead of stumbling over the void he left behind, Spurs' hierarchy chose to act boldly, bringing in real quality to rebuild the squad. This summer wasn't just about adding numbers, it was about sending a message. Tottenham will not collapse. They will rise again, stronger. From Mohamed Kudus, a lightning-quick attacker with the power to change games, to João Palhinha, Kevin Danso, and Luka Vuskovic, every move was part of a bold, ambitious plan. And under the guidance of Thomas Frank, the question is simple. Can this new-look Spurs side actually achieve something big? The early signs say yes. With an electrifying opening performance and a fresh style of play, the Lily Whites have already shown they won't be anyone's stepping stone like last season. This summer, Tottenham turned heads across the football world with a series of high-profile deals, signaling their intent to refresh the squad after Son's departure. The standout signing? Mohamed Kudus, snatched from West Ham for £54 million. More than just a tactical addition, this was a statement. Spurs needed someone capable of filling Son's enormous shoes, and Kudus, with his versatility across the front line, right wing, attacking midfield, even as a false nine, was the answer. He's already proven himself in the Premier League, and his experience makes him a perfect fit to settle in quickly. And he wasted no time. In his first 2 competitive games, Kudus has been electric, dominating midfields with his power and vision and grabbing 2 assists on his Premier League debut. He's already emerging as the man to transform Tottenham's attack this season. Now, all eyes are on the growing connection between Kudus and Richarlison, a partnership that could define the new Spurs era. Tottenham's rebuild hasn't just been about firepower up front, they've also been smart in shoring up the heart of midfield. Bringing in João Palhinha on loan from Bayern Munich was a masterstroke. Palhinha's arrival gives Spurs the kind of defensive anchor they've been missing, a player who can shield the back four and dictate the tempo. Palhinha brings steel, ball-winning ability, and the perfect balance between attack and defense. For too long, Spurs have leaned heavily on Bentancur and Pape Matar Sarr. Now, Thomas Frank finally has a world-class anchor to dictate the middle of the park. And at the back, Spurs refused to stand still. They snapped up Luka Vuskovic from Hajduk Split for £12 million. Just 18 years old, but already considered one of Europe's brightest defensive prospects. Tall, powerful, and with an outstanding reading of the game. He's one for the future, yes, but don't be surprised if he gets his chance in lower-pressure games to grow into the role. Alongside him, Tottenham added Kevin Danso from Lens for just over £20 million, a strong, no-nonsense defender capable of playing either side in a back three. He's the kind of reliable presence every title-chasing squad needs. Perhaps the most symbolic move of all came not from the transfer market, but from within. Christian Romero has signed a new deal that keeps him at Spurs until June 2029, and crucially, he's been handed the captain's armband after Son Heung-min's departure. With Atletico Madrid and Diego Simeone circling, Romero's commitment sends a clear message. Tottenham have found their new leader, their warrior at the back, their irreplaceable cornerstone. Put together, these moves prove Tottenham's summer wasn't some scattergun spree. Every signing was deliberate. Kudus to refresh the attack, Palhinha to command the midfield, Danso and Vuskovic to reinforce the defense. No flashy overspending like Manchester United, no blockbuster shopping like Liverpool. Spurs are building something different, a balanced, resilient team designed for the long journey ahead. This is Thomas Frank's first season in charge, and he's laying down his own blueprint. A Tottenham no longer reliant on Son Heung-min, but ready to stand tall on its own identity. As the 2025-26 season kicks off, Tottenham aren't just changing their personnel, they're reshaping the entire structure of the team. At the helm is Thomas Frank, a coach who made his name at Brentford with organization, discipline, and pragmatism. To succeed at Spurs, he needs depth, a squad strong enough to fight on multiple fronts. And thanks to this summer's transfer window, he finally has a more balanced group to work with. In defense, Spurs now boast four quality centre-backs: Christian Romero, Mickey van de Ven, Kevin Danso, and Radu Dragushin, with Luka Vuskovic waiting in the wings. This is a massive upgrade from last season, when simultaneous injuries to Romero and van de Ven left Tottenham's backline threadbare and exposed. Now, rotation or crisis, Frank has reliable options. He can even experiment with a back three, slotting Dragushin or Danso into wide central roles to maximize their power and aerial presence. Midfield has been fortified with the arrival of João Palhinha. Alongside Bentancur, Bissouma, and Pape Matar Sarr, Tottenham now have a mix of styles to call upon. Palhinha brings defensive grit. Bentancur offers intelligence and control. Bissouma thrives in transition. Sarr adds boundless energy. It's a huge step forward given how Spurs often looked toothless last season, struggling to dictate tempo or shield the defense against stronger opponents. With this kind of depth, Frank can rotate freely without upsetting the team's balance. But the spotlight, of course, falls on the attack. The departure of Son Heung-min leaves a void that no single player can fully replace. Yet Mohamed Kudus is expected to become the heartbeat of a new attacking system. Linking up with Richarlison, Dejan Kulusevski, and Dominic Solanke, Spurs now have a front line that is young, fast, technical, and relentless in the press. Kudus can operate as a number 10 or drift wide to the right, giving Frank tactical flexibility. Solanke provides a traditional target man, while Richarlison can stretch defenses with his movement or slot in centrally. It may not have the star power of Son or Kane, but this Tottenham attack is harder to predict, harder to contain. And the depth is there too. Frank can now call upon Lucas Bergvall, Wilson Odobert, or even emerging academy talents to inject fresh energy off the bench. That's a luxury Spurs have sorely lacked in recent years. In short, with their new reinforcements, Tottenham have built a spine strong enough to enter the season with belief. The variety of options now gives Thomas Frank greater tactical flexibility, while also reassuring fans that this Spurs side won't collapse so easily when adversity strikes. That said, the squad is not flawless. One concern lies in attacking midfield. Since James Maddison's absence, Spurs still lack a true playmaker to dictate games. Mohamed Kudus can slot into the number 10 role, but he shines most when drifting to the right flank, breaking lines from wide positions, as we've already seen in his first outings. For true balance, Spurs may need a conductor like Ebereki Eze, the Crystal Palace star on their radar. With his dribbling, creativity, and ability to unlock defenses, Eze could be the missing piece. Up front, depth remains a talking point. Mathys Tel, handed a chance in the UEFA Super Cup final against Paris Saint-Germain, looked raw and short of the quality required for big occasions. Dominic Solanke is reliable, but he cannot carry the front line alone for an entire season. Richarlison, for all his form and fire, has struggled with injuries and consistency. Still, the sheer variety in attack gives Spurs the firepower to score plenty of goals across competitions. The bigger question is the defense. Last season, it was their Achilles heel, dragging them down to 17th place. But under Frank, the reckless, all-out attacking mindset has been replaced by pragmatism and efficiency. A sturdier backline could be the key to grinding out results and avoiding the careless slip-ups that haunted them last year. Yet perhaps the greatest challenge isn't about signings, but chemistry. Bringing in quality players is one thing. Molding them into a cohesive unit is another. Frank must forge partnerships, Kudus with Solanke, Palhinha with Bentancur, Danso with Romero. If he succeeds, Tottenham can dream of a top 4 push, maybe even silverware. If not, they risk falling into the same trap that swallowed Chelsea. Too many changes, too little cohesion. Make no mistake, Tottenham stand at a crossroads in their history. They've had to learn life without Son Heung-min, and instead of shrinking back, they've stepped forward boldly with strategic, purposeful signings. Kudus, Palhinha, Danso, Vuskovic, each one a building block of hope, injecting fresh life into the squad. But football is ruthless. These names will only matter if they blend into a winning collective. For Thomas Frank, the road ahead is both daunting and exciting. This is his chance to script a new chapter for Tottenham, a team no longer dismissed as outsiders, but one that opponents must respect. And if Spurs can still add a true creative playmaker and a world-class striker, then their ambitions will no longer feel like dreams. They'll be ready to chase the Premier League, the Champions League, and perhaps destiny itself.